Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I'm pretty excited for this video and I feel like y'all will not be expecting it, but I'm going to be doing a first impression on the Fumi x Juvia's Place collaboration. I believe it's called the Queen Collection and it was unexpected for me as well, so I'm going to do a quick little story time. But before I get into that, I just wanted to mention really quickly, I did cut my hair in case you noticed that it's significantly shorter. I just wanted to do something lighter, try and embrace my waves, and I don't know, I just felt like switching it up, so that's what's happening here. So quick little story time, like I said, because this was an unexpected package. I have never had any correspondence with Juvia's Place. The only thing I can think of is that it's at least been a year since this has happened, but I reached out to them in the past to their email and asked about being an affiliate. I wasn't asking about PR or anything. I was just asking about if I could join their affiliate program because I mean, it's obvious if you go through my channel, I have talked about Juvia's Place so much. It's ridiculous. They're one of my top videos whenever I go through and compare every single palette that they have, which I want to do an updated version on. So whenever I reached out to them, I would kind of just get the runaround and they would say, like, our thing is closed, or like they just weren't interested. So I gave up. Like, I'm not going to like beg a company or anything. So I gave up on that, and that's as far as it went. Like, I never even message someone legitimately about PR. It was just their customer service. So the other day I got an email that was like, your Juvia's Place order has been shipped, and I'm like, Juvia's Place order? I didn't make a Juvia's Place order. I'm on a low buy. I did not make an order. I'm like, what did I do when I was like delirious, when I'm up late at night and I can't sleep? So I opened it and it said PR x Fumi collection or something along the lines, and I was just like, what? So I went through all of my other emails. I'm like, I have nothing from Juvia's Place, nothing at all, like no correspondence, which if it was my P.O. box, that would be normal. That wouldn't be the biggest deal. It'd be like, okay, they sent it to my P.O. box, but they sent it to my home address. And I've never given them my address, so I don't know if they like looked through their like customer records and saw that I've purchased before or what, but I don't know. I feel like it's a little creepy to just send something to someone's home address without any correspondence or letting them know or anything. It was just, your order's been shipped. So that's what happened. I wasn't personally planning on purchasing this collection because, like I said, I'm on a low buy. I'm trying to calm myself down. And I also felt like I just wasn't sure how to feel about Juvia's Place after all the recent controversy. I was just giving myself a little break to sit back and just like, I don't know, I just wanted to see. I did do some research on Fumi because I was curious about who she was, and I feel like she seems like such a positive, beautiful person. I almost feel proud of her in a way because when I was watching her video, she kind of just talked about different parts of herself, and I just think it's so amazing to see a brand do a collaboration with a creator who is a woman of color, who's a small creator. She has like 40,000 subscribers, which, I mean, that's a lot of people, but in the grand scheme of YouTube, she's definitely a small creator. And she's also a mature woman. I say that in the most respectful way possible. There is nothing wrong with being mature, but she is 50 years old, and I just feel like you don't see beauty brands collaborating with women who have a little bit more age to them. So I think that's amazing, even though, I mean, it does not look like she's 50 years old by any means. She has a beautiful, beautiful skin, but I just was really excited and happy for her, and that made me want to talk about the collaboration and do some videos on it. So hopefully you guys enjoy seeing this. Let me know if you do or don't, whatever your opinions are. I'm tired. Can you tell? So this is what I guess like the little PR box looks like, which is just, you know, it's got the picture and stuff, which I'm such a recycler that I will find some way to use this box in my beauty room. And then it comes with a little bag here, which I've already opened because obviously I had to look inside. So this is the makeup bag that comes, I guess, with the collection, or you can purchase it on your own. I had the prices pulled up because I'm pretty sure this launched today. And so the bag does retail for $16, but you can of course use an affiliate code to save money off. I would recommend using Angelica's. That would be Angelica Nikis code. She has an affiliate code, so I always try to use hers whenever I make a Juvia's Place order. So there's what the bag looks like, just a standard makeup bag. and it's got Fumi on it, which her picture on everything I think is so cute because the story is her husband is a photographer and he actually took this picture and then they had like their graphic design team, you know, translate it into the more cartoony style the way that they do for their palettes and stuff. But that she loved it because her husband took that picture and she's his muse. So I just thought that was a really cute story. So I don't have the lip glosses. I'm not sure, like, I guess that maybe that wasn't included in the PR collection. So unfortunately I can't swatch those for you today, which I was excited about the lightest one because it looks really, really beautiful. And like, I mean, you know, I'm here for a light nude gloss, but either way, I've got the star of the show, which is the Queen palette, and this retails for $15, and it's supposed to be like a multi-purpose palette, blush or eyeshadow, and then you can get the entire collection for $50, and the 2 lip glosses. There's a super light nude, and then there's like a darkened plummy type of lip gloss. Those are both $10 each. So this is the Queen palette, which Fumi said she named it that because women are all queens. I like that reasoning. So here's what it looks like. There are 6 shades. There's like a really pretty cool tone purple, a really bright true red, a like coppery rosy shade, a lighter like whitey gold, which I'll probably end up trying to use that one as a highlight today, and then there's Sister to Sister, which is a beautiful peach. I've been obsessed with peaches lately, probably will use that as a blush. And then there is the shade 7, which is like a hot pink. And I'm not going to go through and do it right now because that would be pretty time consuming. If you want me to do a review on the palette, I can do it then. But Fumi did go through and show this palette in comparison with a bunch of other Juvia's Place palettes in case you're curious on how the colors compare. Like, for example, like the purple and the red from the Zulu palette, they're not the exact same tones. In case you're curious, they definitely look different. So I feel like all the shades look different to me just from thinking of my knowledge of Juvia's Place, but I feel like FDV approved reminds me of maybe something in the Masquerade palette, if I'm correct, and then Glam. I feel like they do have quite a few different shades that are like this, but the matte shades look pretty unique. So I guess we're just going to go ahead and swatch them out on my arm, kind of see what they look like, and then I will do my eyeshadow and my cheeks with them. So starting off, we've got Adrian, that really bright purple. Ooh. Ole, I heard her say her husband's name, but she has an accent, so I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, Ole. And then Glam, which she used the shade Ole as a blush, and it was stunning. I don't think that I could pull that off. And then we have FDV approved, which I think is like her kind of thing where she like says, oh, that looks really pretty. I might have to compare that to some other gold highlighters. She says like when something is like, when she likes it, she says it's FDV approved, which kind of makes me think of the FDA. FDV approved, FDA approved? I don't know. It feels like a pun, but I don't know if that was intentional. Sister to Sister, which is that beautiful peach, and then 7. Ooh. So there are all 6 shades. I really want to swatch this gold out to some other gold highlighters I have just in case anyone wants some reference, but they look really pretty together. Trying to decide what I'm going to do today. Alright, here's FDV approved on my hand. I really want to swatch it next to the Mary Luminizer because I feel like that's what it'll be similar to, but I can't find it anywhere. So I'm going to do my Amrezy highlighter. Ooh. Those look pretty similar. Alright. I have a feeling I'm going to like the FDV approved. It's just a touch more golden than the Amrezy, but they look very similar. And then I've got Pixie Subtle Sunrise. I'm going to swatch the more golden one. And then last but not least, this is probably the lightest gold that I have, but this is Star Island from Ofra. So there's the highlighters in comparison. I just really wanted to show that really quickly because, you know, if you are getting a $15 palette that has several different shades in it and you get a highlighter shade that you really enjoy, it can make it more bang for your buck, basically. So if you like these kind of gold highlights, at least the Amrezy and the Subtle Sunrise, then you'd probably like FDV approved. Just gonna go ahead and get my hair out of my face for now. And I'm going to go ahead and start off with the shade Sister to Sister, the peach right here, just because that one really calls to me. I already primed my eyes with the Ofra gel eye primer, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw that right into my crease. Just kind of blending in a soft circular motion, buffing it out. This is like the exact shade that I've been so into recently. Alright, so just going to go ahead and leave it basically at that. I feel like that looks really pretty. Feels like the typical Juvia's Place formula. Pretty easy to blend, more on the buildable side. But I feel like this peach is definitely the right tone to where it'll show up on all skin tones. It's got enough pigment to it. Alright, now to deepen up the crease, I'm going to go into Adrian just because I love peaches and purples together. It's going to take just a little bit more of a precise crease brush, and I'm going to pop that right into my crease. So when you first apply it down, the peach and the purple kind of mix to like a mauve-y shade. So I'm just applying a bit more purple to get it to the tone that I want. And then just going in with the previous shade and just buffing that out. Alright, so I really want to use every shade in the palette today. So for the lower lash line, I'm going to use the pink and the red. I'm going to go in with 7 first and then Olay. Just going to go ahead and take the pink on the inner part. Whew, that's a bright pink. Alright, now going into the red. And putting that onto the outer half. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and take the shade right here called Glam, and I'm going to put that onto my lid. It's definitely like a copper, which isn't my personal favorite kind of shade. I'm getting fallout. I kind of just want to go in my finger and be lazy. But I'm going to go ahead and place it where I want it first, and then I'll intensify with my finger. Oop, fallout. Lots of fallout. I'm going to take my tiny little purple brush and just blend over the edge so that there's no harsh lines. And then I'm just taking a tiny, tiny little touch of Glam on my finger and just going to make it a touch more metallic. I apologize for the state of my fingernail polish. I normally don't apologize for that, but it's getting pretty bad. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and dip into FTV approved, and I'm going to put that onto my inner corner. And then whatever's left over on the brush, I'm just going to lightly highlight underneath my brow bone. I'm going to go ahead and finish up my eyes by using the Appeal Gel Liner in the shade Deep Taupe and throwing on the Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara. Alright, so now for my face, I'm going to go ahead and use Sister to Sister as my blush. Just using a tiny, tiny little bit because I don't want to go too much in. And then just blending it in. Which it's blending pretty well. It's just a nice matte, soft peach shade. Nothing too crazy, but it works. And obviously for highlighter, I'm going to go ahead and use FTV approved. Just using, this is the Morphe E61. I've had this for a really long time, and I used to think that I hated it. I don't know, maybe because I was trying to do my highlighter like this, but if you do the highlighter like at the very tip and then you just put it on like the top of your cheekbone, I feel like it adds such a pretty glow and blends it so well at the same time, so it looks more natural. Like, it's just really good at placing the highlight, which most Morphe brushes aren't that great, but the E line, the Elite line, is the better of them. Very, very pretty. I'm going to go in with a second layer just to see if I can build it up a little bit. I'm sure if I used a different brush, one of my more intense highlight brushes, it would have immediately looked super bright, because I love using Juvia's Place eyeshadows as a highlighter, so I do it all the time. Alright, now I'm just going to go ahead and go back in with my blush brush and just blend the edges because it's a little intense. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish up my lips, and then we can talk about my thoughts on the palette. I really want to go in with something that's like a super light nude to kind of mimic the idea of the lip gloss that's in her collection. I'm just going to go ahead and use Urban Decay Midnight Cowgirl. I feel like That's probably the closest thing that I have. Alright, y'all, so this is the finished look, and I like how it turned out. I feel like the eyes ended up being this, like, really pretty, soft, warm, glam, but still colorful, so I'm kind of living for it, and I do see myself continuing to reach for this palette. Especially, I really like the matte shades. I feel like they're pretty staple mattes between, like, the peach, the hot pink, the true red, and the coolish purple here. I think that they're all really pretty, and they all performed pretty well. Of course, the pink and the red I'd be curious to use all over my lid and to blend them more and see how they end up performing. This is just a first impression, not a review by any means, but I do really like the matte options that are in here. As far as the shimmers, Glam, I understand why it's there. I feel like a lot of people would love that shade and will use it. For me personally, like, this kind of shade, it just does nothing for me. It doesn't excite me. It's just like, oh, it's a copper. Like, I feel like so many people who have green eyes love this kind of shade, and I'm sure that it flatters my eye color, but it does nothing for my heart, so that's what matters. So that's a shade I don't feel myself reaching for a lot. Maybe I would use it as a pop on the lower lash line, but probably not all over the lid. The shade FTV approved, I really, really enjoy. I think it's stunning. It's such a pretty highlight. It does add a little bit of texture, which is kind of as to be expected when you take an eyeshadow formula and use it as a highlighter, but it's so beautiful, and it does remind me of some gold highlights that I really enjoy, but it's definitely a more affordable option. It's probably a similar amount of product, but way less, and you get all the other things as well. So if you're looking for a really pretty gold highlight and you have more of a fair skin tone, I think that this could be a really pretty option. I also saw Fumi mixed together FTV approved and Glam, and that was really pretty on her skin tone. So I do overall like the color story. For me, I'm just imagining like this and then taking my sugar pill palette, my empty sugar pill palette that has 9 empty slots, and then putting some really sparkly special shadows from JD Glow Cosmetics in there, and then combining the two. I feel like that would be like a little match made in heaven. I think I'm probably going to do that. I don't know if I would use this as like a standalone palette. I feel like I'll use the mattes a lot, and then I'll mix in some of those like really intense, sparkly, colorful shadows that I personally enjoy. But like I said, I can understand, like I feel like the colors do go well together, and if you're a colorful lover, I feel like you could get some pretty looks. If you're a neutral lover, I feel like you could do some simple looks, even if you just did the peach all over the crease and then went with Glam on the lid and then FTV approved. I feel like that would take like literally 3 minutes, and it would be a very soft, easy, neutral look if that's what you're into. So for the price, the amount of product, the versatility of the product, because, you know, I've seen a few different shades here used as face products, and because it is big enough that you can actually use as face products, because sometimes brands say that something is big enough and they call it a face product, but you try to stick your brush in and you can't. And I've got this gigantic blush brush from IT Cosmetics, and I can fully get it into whatever blush I want without touching anything else. So I feel like all of that information combined, I do think it's worth the price. And of course, I'm so excited for Fumi, so congrats to her. I think that's everything I have to say for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to see, I don't know, what else do you want to see with this? Would you like to see me do a look using this and combining some other shadows and kind of how I would personally play this up a little bit? I can definitely do that. So that's everything for today's video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!